driving spot with several crashes reported on snow-covered roads and a violent
بله. علیکم السلام. خوب است خانم؟
شکر الحمدلله. پاچه نفوذی نه اون سامانه بازی که در اولی برتون ماندین در قطعی ازش فکاس میشه مورد تا برازه کنی یک کس میوره میگیره.
فرارازه میگیرشون؟
نه فرق من نبودی.
خب سیف ما کسانی که زنان خود را زهار میکنند سپس از آنچه گفتند پشیمان میشوند باید بنده را آزاد کنند پیش از آن که با یکدیگر نزدیکی و آمیزش انجام دهند. این درس و پندی است که به شما داده می شود و خدا آگاه از آن چیزی است که می کنید.
فمن لم يجد فصيام شهرين متتابعين من قبل أن يتماسا فمن لم يستطع فإطعام 60 مسكينا ذلك لتؤمنوا بالله ورسوله وتلك حدود
نفخه ربانی خود یاریشان داده است و تقویتشان کرده است و ایشان را به باغ‌های بهشتی داخل می‌گرداند که زیر کاخ‌ها و درختان آنها رودبارها روان است و جاودانه در آنجا می‌مانند. خداوند از آنان خوشنود و ایشان هم از خدا خوشنودند. اینان حزب یزدانند. هان حزب یزدان قطعاً پیروز و رستگار است. اهل کتاب مراد یهودیان بنی نظیر است که در دونی مدینه زندگی می‌کردند و هنگام هجرت
you can't say that because that is racist and accurate. So you have to find a way. You have to find another way of saying that. And so you have to call it a 911 awareness week. Because one thing we know is white people walk around unaware all the time. They're just unaware until someone is like, hey, it's Indigenous Peoples Awareness Week.
Ottawa tomorrow. CHL NHL top prospects game last night. Superstar Connor Bedard was kept off the score sheet as Team Red beat Team White 4-2 from Langley, BC. Carson Rakoff of the Kitchener Rangers with a goal and a helper. Pascal Siakam put up a double-double for the Raptors as they started their 7-game trip in Sacramento. Raps surprising the Kings with a 113-95 dub. 5 different players pitching in with over 16 points each. They've got the Warriors tomorrow. And at the Australian Open, the women's finals been set. Arina Sabalenka will take on Yelena Rybakina on Saturday, both with straight sets victories in the semis earlier. by Precision Sexual Health Clinic for Men. Guys, there's something we need to talk about. I'm not going to try and talk around it. I'm going to come right out and say it. Sexual health. Your sexual health is important. Things like erectile dysfunction do happen. In fact, more than half of guys have to deal with ED every day. And Dr. Judah and Precision Sexual Health Clinic for Men can help. Book your confidential initial visit at precisionclinictoronto.ca. That's precisionclinictoronto.ca. Now is the time to stream more Maple Leafs down the stretch drive. Get thousands of out-of-market NHL games, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and more with the new Sportsnet Now Premium 6-month pass. Jays baseball in sight. Now is the time to score the best value deal.
Just listen to Subaru's standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive go to work on all that ice and snow. And that sound isn't a confident driver whistling Beethoven's Fifth, I believe. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon winter capability.
Sarah,
Yes, Callum?
why do so many people get engaged on Valentine's Day?
Callum, do you really not know?
Is it because that chubby little angel baby, she's people with those love arrows?
Getting engaged on Valentine's Day says, you're not just the person I love, right?
And I think that speaks to a major issue in all levels of education, whereby we're emphasizing marks and numbers, and what we should be emphasizing is the learning. Because at the end of the day, when students, especially grade 12 students, they're even if they're achieving high marks like 90%, and they're applying to a program where the cutoff point is 95%, that's not conducive to their learning. That's not going to help them, care about improving their learning. All they're going to be chasing after is that number. And the more we talk about exams and evaluation, we always talk about cheating, and we talk about students who are doing anything they can to achieve high marks on these assessments. And as soon as a student feels that cheating is a good option for them, it tells you that they're not pursuing the learning, they're pursuing the highest number that they can achieve.
Right.
And you can hardly blame them because that's what the system is encouraging them to do. It's all about the number on a paper. It doesn't actually necessarily correspond to what you learned.
It's all fine and dandy to take the emphasis away from the actual number, the mark itself, and put it on the learning for high school students. But when that number is essentially the main thing that means they do or do not get into a university or a college, are we risking their academic success later unless universities and colleges get on the same page with that?
Absolutely, and change has to come from the top down. The universities and colleges need to, and I think some of them are, considering different ways to evaluate students and to select students. In the United States, of course, they have the SATs, and that presents its own problems as well with standardized testing. But some schools and some
Right now, and Kevin's back with a quick look at traffic.
Yeah, right now it is exam day for a lot of students, but they're going to get tested before that. Most area school buses have been canceled right now. As far as the drive, I give it about a D-. Eastbound 401 at James Snow Parkway, the two right lanes are blocked with the crash, so problems have returned there. It's a transport truck fire, and you might even find that all lanes will be blocked, so a good area of the city to avoid right now. We continue with problems in the express at the 400. We finally reopened the Dixie ramps, but it continues to be a slow haul through the Scarborough area. The collector transfer near McCowan, collision there continues to affect that. That's fully blocked right now. So things just keep coming in fast and frequent. TTC 63 Ossington buses are bypassing Davenport stops because of poor weather conditions.
Smiley. Thank you, Kevin. Right now, In Toronto, it is -4, mostly cloudy. Well, Suresh Das is back with us, and this week he's taking us into the world of Hakka cuisine. It also happens to be one of his personal favorite restaurants in Scarborough, and for those who don't feel like leaving the couch today, they deliver. Good morning, Suresh.
Good morning, Ismaila.
So before we head to Scarborough, give me some context about what Hakka cuisine is.
So it's been some time since we talked about the cuisine of the Hakka people on the show. One of the most diasporic Chinese community groups with a very long history of migration from northern China, and then moving to parts of southern China over generations and out of the country to Southeast Asia. A large population of Hakka people also migrated to Calcutta, to India, over the past 200 years. And in the past few decades, we've seen families from Calcutta migrate to Toronto. So in this context, Ismaila, we're referring to Hakka cuisine and this restaurant. We're specifically talking about a cuisine that is iterative. It has evolved, morphed, and it has mixed with Indian influences before it arrives to us.
Okay, tell me a bit more about that. Describe a dish for me.
Okay, so I would say that one of the central pillars of Hakka cuisine is texture. So whether a dish is braised or roasted or stewed, there's a lot of care that goes into the texture of a vegetable or protein, contrasting from outside to inside. And with the majority of Hakka restaurants in GTA, you see this care of cooking things very quickly, but mixing it with spices that are somewhat familiar with of Indian cooking, if you will. So there might be more roasted spices on the nose, or it might be in the mother sauce. Coriander or cumin can often show up depending on the dish. Let's talk about this place, and I can describe some dishes for you.
Okay, so we're going to Wong's Cuisine in Scarborough.
Yeah, so we're on Lawrence Avenue East. This is at the edge of Shawarma Road where it ends. Christopher Wong runs the spot with his wife, Yu Feng Lin. He identifies as Hakka. He was born in Calcutta, his parents as well. And he's been a cook for over 30 years. Like, it would be impossible to list all the places on the show of where he's cooked. But by any interpretation, I would say he's cooking Hakka cuisine by way of Calcutta. And Ismail, he's really a master technician when it comes to the wok. So he finally settles in this dining space on Lawrence Avenue just before the pandemic in the small plaza. And some of the best dishes are from this large ancient wok that he uses in the kitchen to seemingly turn out incredible dishes within like seconds in front of you. And I think when people think about Hakka cuisine, the first dish that will come to mind is chili chicken. Have you had it before?
I have not.
So this is basically a dish where you have fried chunks of boneless chicken that is tossed into a flaming hot wok, coated with aromatics, a few different sauces, some Shaoxing wine. There's this whole house-made mother sauce that Christopher makes. That's the secret sauce. So in a flash, he will start aggressively rocking the wok, and every drop of oil and every inch of every ingredient gets kissed by the flame. And again, this all happens within 20 to 30 seconds. So you have this dish where you have the crunchy fried chicken with a thick sauce that kind of coats around it. So you get a pleasing crunch and then really the most tender meat inside because it's not cooked for long. And there's an undercoating of spice, but really it's the luxuriousness of the sauce that is the winner. So I would get that with a rice dish.
Any rice dish in particular?
There are a few fried rice dishes on the menu. I would suggest a mixed fried rice. So we're back at the wok again, and Chris will quickly cook rice with pieces of chicken or shrimp and coat it lightly with some dressing. You can obviously get it without the meat, of course. There are a number of vegetarian dishes. If you don't want to have the chili chicken, I would say get the chili paneer, which is equally just magical with chunks of paneer that really pop with the spice and the lick of the flame. There are also a number of noodle dishes that are great to get, which really will give you the pronounced breath of the wok, that smoky quality. If I can recommend one more dish, this is a personal favorite of mine. I get this every time I go there, the cumin beef. I don't think it's listed on the menu, but Christopher will make it for you if you ask. It's a wonderfully aromatic and spicy beef dish. I want you to picture thin strips of tenderloin that are flash fried in the wok with vegetables. The beef here has a really nice thin char to it, but the inside is really just incredibly tender. I would get that with like maybe a plate of tofu cooked with black bean sauce. So I mean, there's like 5 dishes that I would say you try. And I would say that, Wong's is not open for dine-in, as you mentioned, so be prepared for takeout or delivery.
Sorry, there's no dine-in at all at this place?
So Christopher says he's in a precarious position right now with Wong's. I mean, they opened the dining room just before the pandemic, and then they had to shut it down. And it hasn't been open since. And it's just a really wonderful place. It was very loud and just exciting. And he's had staffing issues. Right now, it's really only him in the kitchen cooking with Yufeng managing the front, which is sad to see because it's one of my favorite places to go in Scarborough. And then there's this other factor, Smarla. This part of Scarborough is ripe for development. There are condos, and developments popping up all around him, across the street even. So there is talk that a condo will replace this plaza, and his lease takes him to 2024. So I would say my advice is go soon and go hungry.
All right, thanks so much for this, Suresh.
Thank you, Smarla.
Suresh Das is Metro Morning's food guide. He was talking there about Wong's Asian Cuisine. It's on Lawrence Avenue East near Birchmount. And yes, you can also order through a couple of delivery apps. It is 7:58 right now. Kevin Carrington is back with a look at the commute.
Yeah, one of my favorite places to go in Scarborough is home, and that's probably where you should work from if you can this morning, or at least give yourself some extra time before you head out there on the roads. We got problems eastbound 401 at James Snow Parkway. All lanes were blocked there because of a transport truck fire and a collision as well. Eastbound 401 Express at Dufferin, watch for a stall there too. We got problems in the transfer near McCowan. It's closed as well because of a crash. And in town, TTC 66 Ossington buses are bypassing Davenport stops because of poor weather conditions. Here's Jill with your news headlines.
Our top story is really an ongoing CBC Toronto investigation looking at the new details about organized crime groups targeting the equity in dozens of GTA homes. We are now meeting a couple whose home in Etobicoke was sold. They're speaking to CBC News exclusively. It's mainly cloudy and -4 with a wind chill of -9. Today's high, -1.
Thank you very much, Jill. Still lots coming up for you in the next half hour of the program. We're going to talk about space. Find out more in the next half hour.
Today on Q. Not bad, huh? So what do you do? I said
Talia Schlinger in for Tom Power. Swedish director Ruben Östlund loves to hold a mirror up to the worst parts of ourselves in his films, like he does in his Oscar-nominated movie Triangle of Sadness. He'll tell you about making a shipwreck comedy about wealth and vanity.
Q. This morning at 10, 10:30 in Newfoundland, and on the CBC Listen app. The CBC News is next. Coming up in half an hour, it's The Current with Matt Galloway.
The pandemic has turned the world upside down and brought terrible losses. But the journalist Carl Honoré sees a bit of a silver lining in how life has slowed down, and he hopes that change sticks. Carl Honoré, coming up on The Current.
This is World Report. Good morning from CBC News. I'm Marcia Young. Executives from Via Rail are about to be grilled by MPs in Ottawa.